Welcome back, guys, to another American Reacts. We're back in Australia for 5 scary Australian creatures that actually exist. We'll see if this list is BS or if it's believable, and we'll see how scary they are. Australia has a lot of diversity when it comes to animals. A lot of it's exaggerated from what I've heard. Don't know how dangerous it is. I mean, people go about their day and live long lives just like anyone else down there in the land down under. So let's get started. See how fun this is.
These are 5 scary Australian creatures that actually exist.
Ooh, here we go.
Number 5, drop bear.
How did I know this would be on there? First one.
Koalas are known for being adorable creatures. They hang out on trees all day, have cute babies, and
koalas are hilarious.
Nothing about them speaks ruthless or evil. But according to some people, there are actually vicious versions of the koala known as the drop bear. Unlike their herbivore
I'm calling BS on that.
Drop bears are larger, brutal, and carnivorous. According to the stories, they usually hide up in the trees waiting for their prey. Once they see them, they drop in on them unexpectedly, biting the head using their teeth and vicious claws.
All right.
But is a drop bear
Look at that Photoshop.
While there's no proof actual koalas can turn vicious and carnivorous, there might be a real-life counterpart to the drop bear lore. The Thylacoleo is an ancient mammal that roamed the land during the last ice age. Dubbed as a marsupial lion, it actually has a skull similar to that of a wombat or koala with large, cleaver-shaped shearing teeth so it can easily tear and shred prey.
Wow.
The fact that it's a large marsupial makes it a candidate to become the real-life drop bear. True to lore, another fascinating thing about the Thylacoleo is it seems to have been capable of climbing trees and grappling large prey. The species preferred to live inside caves.
What do you think? I think most of the guys aren't that gullible out there. A lot of you are probably laughing right now watching this. Yeah, I'm calling major BS on the drop bear. I don't believe that for a second, but I'm sure a lot of you have had some fun with that. I've heard that is a pretty fun prank that you guys do down there, so more power to you. I think it's funny. I love joking around too. So, how many people have been scared to death to go hiking down there?
Eating the flesh of their prey
a drop bear might come
on the bones. Researchers also discovered scratch marks inside the caves, even in the steepest
Maybe
parts,
you've seen one. Maybe you've been attacked and lived to tell the tale.
And skilled climber. Paleontologists and researchers also believed it lived around the same time as when humans first arrived on the continent 50,000 years ago. Although the modern drop bear stories don't seem to have any direct links to the Thylacoleo of ancient past, there's no denying the discovery of the latter means sometimes fictional stories might be based on something real after all.
Yeah, he's got a point there. That probably did exist if they found
Megalania.
Proof of it, so it's not a drop bear, but it's its own thing. So maybe people exaggerated a little bit and changed the story. Let's see what he said here. Number 4.
Number 4, Megalania. Prehistoric Australia isn't something you want to wander into. While real-life Komodo dragons of today are still vicious but relatively smaller, once upon a time a supersized version of this creature once roamed Australia.
Dang,
first described by Sir Richard Owen in 1859, the Megalania thrived in eastern Australia. Officially called the Megalania prisca, it grew up to 5 to 7 meters long and had a weird crest and snout.
That's pretty
its
big.
Teeth were sharp and recurved. It's believed to have wrinkled and infolded enamel too.
Jeez, man.
One unusual characteristic of the creature were the small bones.
I mean, the fossils look pretty cool
around its neck and snout. The closest relative to the Megalania today are monitor lizards.
True.
And like monitor lizards, the Megalania was carnivorous, with some suggesting they may have preyed on things like kangaroos or even larger mammals like deer.
It's kind of like a more dinosaur-like crocodile almost, right? Like if you look at the kind of the shape, the muscle of it, and the head, it's kind of like this is like truck guy knowledge. It's like a lifted crocodile. That's so bad.
Pigs and goats.
It's pretty scary, actually.
Fed on pygmy elephants or even tortoises.
Jeez.
Like its current lizard counterpart, it's speculated the Megalania was an ambush predator, who also bore toxic saliva and killed its victims via toxic poison from a bite.
Yuck.
According to Aboriginal stories, these creatures were believed to be capable of bringing fire and destruction. What's more, the animal was also partly aquatic. The tale passed down among the Aborigines for the last 100 years tells of a story of a Megalania swimming to the ocean and encountering a great white shark. It ended up overpowering the shark and dragging its body to the shore, feasting on it.
Damn,
In fact,
okay.
The story is relatively fresh, and that reported sightings of the creature happened up until the 1800s has led some to believe there's a possibility it might still exist somewhere on the continent today.
Jeez.
Of course,
never know,
we
man.
dismiss this as just wishful thinking, but there are accounts of possible Megalania sightings.
But you know what? The fact of it is, man, this world is humongous, and when you're dealing with big countries like Australia, the country's so huge, man. It's its own continent. And the big deal is, you know, most people live on the coast, so you have a lot of huge wilderness in the outback and even, you know, lush areas where probably a lot of people don't literally reside in. So when you have just casual people hiking and visiting, you know, certain areas that are pretty empty, they're in and out, you know. There's a lot of things that you just don't know what's out there. So you never know, man. This could be roaming around out there. Could be.
In 1890, a large lizard terrorized the town of Euroa, Australia. According to witnesses, this lizard would raid the livestock and was described to have been 30 feet in length. Then in the 1960s, a French priest who went into the New Guinea forest to teach Christianity reported seeing a giant lizard laying on a fallen tree. He asked the guide to stop.
Look at that thing.
The native guide was scared and didn't listen to him. The next day, the priest went back to the site and measured the tree that the creature was laying next to. To his shock, the tree was 40 feet in length, and the lizard he saw was also the same length as it.
Oh, hell no.
One of the most recent sightings was in 1970.
40 feet in length. Damn, I don't want to mess with nothing like that. That would freak anybody out. Dude, that is way too freaking big. How do you mess with something like that, man?
When a farmer in Megalania, Australia, reported witnessing a large lizard about 20 feet long.
Even 20 feet long.
Discovered tracks and called cryptozoologist Roy Gilroy. Gilroy cast impressions and was unable to find more evidence. Then in 2008, Gilroy found a similar set of tracks. This time 185 miles from Maruya. He made casts of this set as well and was surprised to find out it was identical to the original tracks he found back in 1979. If indeed the population of Megalania survived, there are some who speculate they may have done so through parthenogenesis. One of its possible relatives, the Komodo dragon, is able to give birth and hatch unfertilized eggs through this process. If the two are remotely related, it's possible the Megalania can do this as well. Thus, it may have one generation that has survived through all these years. However, this process only lasts a single generation since all the offspring will be male. They will need a female to produce eggs and grow the size of the population up once again. Whether Megalania has survived in the modern day still remains unanswered, but there's no denying this might be one creature better left unfound in the wild.
Yeah.
Number 3.
It'd be pretty scary coexisting with those. Bunyip, what is this?
There's never a shortage of water monsters in Australia, but one ferocious creature lives a dual life of quiet herbivore and vicious predator.
Oh, man.
Bunyip. While many believe the bunyip
that doesn't
is
look
a
friendly.
mythical creature, there are those that say the beast actually once roamed Australia.
That thing looks like a freaking owl, dude. Looks like an owl with just a body. That's insanity, but it's still like feather-like. The hell?
This mysterious animal,
you know, owls are freaky enough, man. Hell no.
Is reported to have inhabited different regions of Australia, but mostly thrive near lakes, swamps, rivers, and various aquatic environments.
It's always them damn swamps, man.
The creature is said to be mostly a water dweller.
Stay away from swamps. I'm not a swamp fan at all. It's a bunch of weird stuff in the swamps in Florida and Louisiana and here in the States. So.
Although occasionally reported to be seen walking around land. As for looks, this is where it gets hairy. The Bunyip has been described as a bizarre creature that looks like a hodgepodge of various animals.
Oh, jeez.
It's said to look like a starfish with a dog-like head. Other reports say it has fins, feathers, claws,
look at that hairy
horse
dude.
tail, a massive eye, or a stomach mouth. While reports of its appearance don't always coincide, the one consistent description is that it's huge.
Jeez.
In Aboriginal language, the word Bunyip translates to the devil or evil spirit.
Yuck.
Aborigines believe the creature's monstrous appearance and cries were linked to death. However, some Aborigines also look to the Bunyip as a protector of sorts, despite its panache for human flesh. Is there any proof of the Bunyip's existence at all? In 1818,
I hope not.
explorer Hamilton Humes found mysterious bones he believed to be that of a manatee or hippopotamus, but scholars who heard of the unusual bones couldn't help but link them to the monster described by the Aborigines. Humes was offered money to return to the lake where the bones were and bring them back with him, but he declined. In 1830, another set of bones were found in a cave by Sir Richard Owen. He described them as belonging to a giant marsupial species and mentioned the tribes in the area also have a tradition of water-dwelling giants living in the waterways. Several other fossil discoveries were said to be that of the Bunyip.
That's the biggest thing, man, on the whole Earth. What is it mostly made up of? Water, right? That's the biggest mystery, even bigger than space. I feel like we know more about space than we do about our own waters. Who knows, man, miles deep below the water. You know, around the world, there's some weird stuff living down there. I can guarantee that. There's no way we know even, you know, we've never even scratched the surface of knowing how many species of weird animals and different entities live underwater. It's crazy.
Including a mysterious skull that was even displayed in the Australian Museum in Sydney.
That's a Cyclops-looking dude.
Today,
Yuck, man.
The Bunyip is nothing more than mythological fiction. Of course, a faction of cryptozoologists believe the Bunyip did exist.
Who knows?
One possible creature they point to is the Diprotodon, which was a giant marsupial that went extinct on the continent about 46,000 years ago. It was a famous water beast and could be the creature the Aborigines once called the Bunyip.
Yeah, could be.
Number 2, Euroa Beast.
All right, what do we got here?
Euroa is a small town in Victoria, just at the foot of the Strathbogie Ranges. It features a miniature railway, tourist drives, and gorgeous waterfalls. But
looks nice.
During the 1890s, the small town was living in fear of an unusual creature that roamed the area. The first account of the Euroa Beast was published in the Brisbane Courier on February 28th.
That's an ugly-looking thing.
On March 1st of 1890. According to residents in the area close to the town of Euroa, their swamp was infested by a large 30-foot-long creature since 1884.
Jeez.
They couldn't identify what exactly it was, but dogs would often run away from the area, and since then, several witnesses have reported sightings of it. In one instance, several men were in the swamp to cut the 6-foot-long reeds. While they were cutting, they suddenly heard a splashing and snorting sound nearby, and the reeds in the distance bent and waved as if allowing a large creature to pass by. The men, out of fear, leapt out of the swamp. The next day, one of the men returned there, and he again heard the strange sounds.
Oh, hell no.
He jumped on a log and saw a large head protrude. He said it looked like a bulldog and stayed motionless for about 10 minutes before disappearing completely.
Oh, man.
Soon a group of men were assembled.
Hell no.
The swamp. They tried looking for the creature and actually spotted a large tail coming out of a log. A shot was then fired, although no one was sure if it hit the target. They looked for the animal but couldn't find it anymore. Those who saw the creature described it as being quite thick, yellow, with a dark brown belly.
Jeez.
After reports of the Euroa Beast spread, the Melbourne Zoological Gardens were skeptical of the sightings, but sent a representative out there. Armed with a big net, they said officials gathered 40 men from the town to hunt down the creature.
They're trying to get this damn thing, huh?
They tried capturing it and
good
stayed
luck
there day and night, but the only thing
no
tracks,
luck,
but never finding the source. Many say the Euroa Beast might have been a species of an ancestral amphibian called the Produrpus finiae. It's an extinct crocodile-shaped
Ew, look at that guy.
Many believe is the link between land animals and fish. No reports of the creature, however.
Look at that. Hell no.
Euroa or anywhere else.
I don't think it was that. I don't think it was a bulldog fish.
Number 1.
That's me though.
Known as the Tasmanian Tiger, the last known thylacine to have existed.
Now, I've heard of these.
In Hobart Zoo around 1936.
Yeah, I've seen those pictures.
But many are saying it's possible there are some
that thing's
kind of
cool.
Survived in the wild.
Look at the stripes.
More than 80 years later, countless reports of dog-like animals that aren't foxes or dingoes have been sighted over mainland Australia. Thylacines are large carnivorous marsupials and belong to the family Thylacinidae. It's the only one from the family believed to have survived until modern times. The creature features a yellowish brown to gray shade with 15 to 20 distinct stripes around its back, running from the shoulders to the tail. Despite the wolfish dog head, it has shorter, stiff legs and a long tail. Its body hair is short, soft, and dense, about 15 millimeters in length. The ears are short and erect with large
Look at how wide it can open its mouth.
46 teeth. Adult males are larger than the females. And one thing that's curious about the females is they had a back opening pouch. Males
I didn't know
had
that.
them, but it was only a partial pouch. The females gave birth of up to 4 per litter and often cared for their young until half grown. The thylacines hunted at night.
Those are pretty cool.
Alone or in pairs.
I like those.
They ate kangaroos and other marsupials, including small birds and rodents, sometimes sheep and poultry after Europe colonization happened. As for why they became extinct, the most likely explanation is they were killed off by humans for being a supposed pest.
Oh, jeez.
Despite being labeled extinct, though,
humans always messing everything up, man.
Cast doubt on whether the population of thylacines were completely eradicated back in the day. In February of 2019, 2 people visiting Tasmania were driving when an animal with a stiff tail and striped back crossed the road in front of them. The animal had stopped, turned to the vehicle, and both of the passengers saw the animal for a full 12 to 15 seconds.
That looks pretty suspicious, don't it? Yeah, I think they're still around, man. I mean, if it was only less than 100 years ago when they think they went extinct, that's not that long when you're talking evolution, when you're talking big scale. Yeah, dude, I think they're still around. They're probably in really limited numbers, but I think they're there, man.
They were sure it was a thylacine. Then that same month, another witness came forward saying he saw a striped cat-like creature moving in the distance. In 2017, a driver also saw a possible thylacine inside the Deep Gully Forest Reserve in northwestern Tasmania. He didn't see the creature as having stripes since he was too far away, but he did say it was a cat, and it was a big one. Despite the speculation, there's no definitive proof of the existence of the thylacine continuing
They're
today.
out there, man.
While many hope the creature still does exist, only time will tell if it's truly gone for good.
I think that's it.
There were 5 scary Australian creatures that actually exist.
All right, man, that is it. That is from Scary Mysteries, by the way. Go ahead and check them out if you would like. We'll throw a thumbs up on there for them. And yeah, man, what do you think of that list? Yeah, those were pretty freaky, especially how big some of them are, right? That's the theme in Australia, that a lot of things are just bigger there. Bigger spiders, you know, bigger lizards, you name it. It's really cool, though. A couple of those were realistic. I think like the number 4 one back here was pretty realistic. And, you know, some of those big lizards, kind of like the Komodo dragon, but bigger, I think for sure existed. Duh. And definitely that thylacine. That is really cool. And I really think there's some hidden out there. Come on. Let me know if anyone sees one of those. I think they're out there. Probably near Tasmania, like he said. Which one of these animals were you intrigued by? Which ones do you think are real? And which ones do you think are totally fake BS? Drop Bear is hilarious. It's a hilarious prank, but it's BS. If you ask me. Yeah, I'm just not buying it, man. Not buying that BS. No way. But I tell you what, I would not want to meet any of these bad guys right here. The thylacines are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing one of those from, you know, like maybe a vehicle from far away. That'd be cool. But yeah, I wouldn't go up and pet one. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, let me know down below what you thought. Of course, give me ideas and suggestions that you would like to see. Loving the Australian content. It's really fun lately, and got another one coming in a few hours. So If you would like to, throw a thumbs up on there. I would appreciate it. It helps me out. Subscribe for more stuff like this. My name is Ian. You are watching IWrocker. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.